everyone, welcome to Q&A. My name is Bill, the company's expert, and today, Zubi Shah writes, can you create a video on answering questions on a long employment gap? Yes, I certainly can. What Zubi is talking about here is a work gap, which is a period of unemployment that you have possibly on your resume under your work history, where it indicates that you were unemployed for, say, 2 years or something like that. That would be a work gap. Okay, now, one thing I want to say right off the hop is that generally speaking, recruiters care predominantly and disproportionately about your most recent employment, okay? They tend not to really care about something you did 10 years ago, okay? So if you have a previous work gap, that's where you were maybe unemployed for 2 years or something in the past, but then you found a job, okay? It's a previous work gap. If you have a previous work gap, chances are a recruiter is not going to ask you about it. And even if they do, all they want to see is that you have some kind of explanation about it, and that's it. Okay, now, in the unlikely event that they ask you about a previous work gap, you can just give a default response. You can say something along the lines of, well, I was between jobs for longer than I anticipated, and it was because of the economy at the time or the labor market at the time, something like that. And that should be fine, okay? I don't think they're going to get into it beyond that. Now, that's if you have a previous gap. If you have a current gap, okay, a current work gap, that means that there is a period of time between the end of your most recent employment and the current date, okay? That's a current gap. If you have a current gap that's less than a year, same thing applies. Most recruiters are probably not going to ask you about it because it's self-explanatory. You're between jobs, you're interviewing, especially in light of current events. I don't think people are going to really need much of an explanation for that, okay? However, if you have a current work gap that's longer than a year, you're going to need an explanation for this, okay? Now, the reason is because, generally speaking, recruiters are in the business of minimizing risk, okay? They don't want to hire someone that is at a higher risk of being a bad employee. So the fact that if you've been out of work for a very long time, that raises the question to them that there's maybe something going on. It's maybe going to be a problem, okay? They don't know. So it's a red flag for them, okay? That's why you're going to need to provide an explanation. Now, if you're in this situation where you've been unemployed and you're currently unemployed and it's been over a year, okay, you're going to need to show that you did some kind of professional activity during that period of unemployment, okay? So an example of that could be, well, you went back to school. I mean, that's a reasonable explanation, right? No red flags there. Failing that, you took some training. Okay, you were training, you were doing courses or whatever it was. That makes sense too. Or you were doing consulting, or you were doing volunteering. All of these are perfectly acceptable explanations for that recent gap in your employment. Okay? And if you explain this, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, if you're in this situation right now, you're currently unemployed and it's been over a year since you were working, and you're freaking out right now because you can't say that you've done any of those activities, okay? What I would possibly recommend for someone in that situation is go and take a few online courses, maybe some free online courses that you can do in like a day or a week or, some short period of time. Take a couple of them, right? Or do other self-improvement type activities, okay? So that when you get asked about this, you can say, no, I was doing some self-improvement activities. I took courses on this, and that's what I've been doing in addition to looking for work. And generally, that will be an adequate explanation. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for sending in that intelligent question. Be like Zuby and send in some intelligent questions. I will try to answer them if I can. Each and every one of you guys is awesome, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.